This is a sports catastrophe production. Hey there, hello, ho there. It's Jeff Goodell, and welcome you to another sports catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for April 24th is this guy. Not known for his first name, Larry. He's known for his nickname, Chipper. That's right, it's Chipper Jones of the Atlanta Braves, who's now 49 years old. He's almost 50. He was the first overall pick in the 1990 MLB draft. And basically the Braves' third baseman from 95 to 2012. But he did play left field for a few seasons. But anyway, why I digress. He was also a member of the 95 World Series championship team, an 8-time All-Star, MVP in 1999. Ironically, I saw him in his MVP season. 2-time Silver Slugger Award winner and the MLB batting champion in 2008. He decided to retire in 2012 with a .303 batting average, 468 homers, 1,623 RBI. The most by a third baseman all time, and held the Braves record for a base percentage. He spent his entire career in the Atlanta organization. He's second in RBIs by a switch hitter behind Eddie Murray. The Braves instantly retired his number 10 the next season, and he was named to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2018, first year of eligibility. So anyway, he was pretty good and all that. It was weird how, it was the first overall pick in the draft and all that. Now, the MLB draft doesn't get a lot of hype and all that compared to the football, basketball, and hockey drafts and all that. Atlanta wanted to sign Todd Van Poppel, who was this hotshot high school pitcher. But Van Poppel didn't want to sign for the Braves, and basically he didn't like the money Braves gave him. So Atlanta said, screw it, we're taking Chipper Jones. He looks good. And Jones went up through the minor league system and all that. He was a shortstop, but then moved to third base. All that. Chipper actually was going to probably be a starting left fielder after Ron Gant got hurt. Unfortunately, Jones had an ACL tear, and basically he was on the disabled list for the entire 94 season. So in 95, that was his rookie year. He led the rookies in RBIs, games played, games started, plate appearances, at bats, and runs scored. But stupidly lost the Rookie of the Year to Hideo Nomo of the Dodgers. Yeah, Nomo was pretty decent and all that, but I mean, it just proved that, at least the voters weren't biased towards foreigners. But anyway, yeah, Chipper did good, especially with the Braves getting to the 95 World Series and winning it. He played in the 96 World Series when the Braves choked to the Yankees. And all that. Chipper would actually have the last hit at Fulton County Stadium, and the first hit at Turner Field. So basically they went from Fulton County Stadium to Turner Field. But in 1999, Chipper was good. He won the MVP. He batted over 300. And he slugged 40-plus home runs and 41 doubles. Well, 45 home runs, 41 doubles. He did pretty well drawing walks. He did pretty well for himself. Strange as it sounds, Chipper was not named to the All-Star team, to the All-Star game that year. So yeah. But one of his key contributions to why he was MVP was basically how the Braves did against the New York Mets in the playoffs and all that in September. Chipper would put up 4 home runs in a 3-game series against the Mets. He did pretty good. So anyway, Jones would get the Braves to the World Series, but the Yankees swept them easily. And yeah, I mentioned that. Yeah, I saw Chipper Jones in his MVP season in 1999. Well, it wasn't on purpose. Well, anyway, Blue Jays were hosting the Braves in an interleague series on the Sunday afternoon, July 18th, I think was 1999. Something like that. Anyway, so Chipper was coming to town. I'm like, oh boy, Chipper's coming to town. And, the Braves would play the Blue Jays at the Skydome. Of course, my Uncle John got tickets. And basically the Diamond families would go down. It was nice seeing a Blue Jays game and all that at the age of 14. at the Sky Dome, aka Rogers Center. However, the one thing that kind of burns me is my cousin Tim wearing his Atlanta Braves jersey with Chipper Jones number 10 on it. You know, and he kept wearing that Chipper Jones number 10 jersey throughout many more baseball games. And I'm like, the Braves aren't even playing, Tim. Yikes. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, it's kind of a burn, but you know what? I don't hate my cousin. It's just that it just didn't make sense if the Braves weren't playing the Blue Jays. Anyway, so Chipper would just sign a 6-year, $90 million deal in 2000. He did pretty well. He led the league with the National League with a run batting average in 2001. Unfortunately, Chipper Jones's defense started to regress and all that. And Chipper decided to move from third to left field in 2002 to make room for the free agent Vinny Castilla. After a few years playing left field and all that, the new third baseman for the Braves, Mark DeRosa, got hurt, so Chipper went back to third base and did pretty well for himself. In 2005, he actually reworked his contract with the Braves so that they could have money for free agents, which was pretty nice and all that. Chipper would play in the 2006 World Baseball Classic alongside Braves teammates Jeff Francoeur and Brian McCann. Chipper did all right. June 2006, he was the first. He got his 1,144th RBI, which is the all-time lead one for an Atlanta Brave. Put him third if you add the Braves to the Atlanta Braves during his time in Atlanta, but third on the franchise's all-time list with Braves teams in Boston and Milwaukee behind Hammer, Hank Aaron, and Eddie Matthews. He would be the Atlanta Braves all-time hits leader July 2006. You know, he was pretty good and all that. Chipper was pretty good and all that. And, you know, it was the soul of the Atlanta Braves for many seasons and all that. So anyway, Chipper did pretty good for himself. Unfortunately, the final game in his career was the 2012 wildcard playoff, when basically it was dubbed the infield fly rule game because of a missed call in the 8th inning by an umpire who thought that the ball was going to catch for an infield fly, even though that the infielder dropped it and all that. Now, the infield fly rule is kind of stupid, but anyway, if there are 2 runners on base with no outs, or 1 out, sorry, and you hit a ball into the infield, you're like a pop up to the infield, you're automatically out. However, the runners can advance at their own risk, and that's what happened with the Braves against the Cardinals in 2012. Dropping the ball, the infielder and outfielder both dropped the ball, and the runners moved up to second and third respectively because they were on first and second. So under the fly rule, Andrelton Simmons was out. He was the batter. The batter was already out to make it 2 outs. However, the runners moved to second and third without penalty. So basically that meant that the Braves still had a chance, but they sucked. Anyway, Chipper was a fantastic guy and all that. He looked good. All that. It was amazing. He got to the 2018 Baseball Hall of Fame. Jones had his first wife, Karen. The couple married in 1992 and divorced in 2000, but mostly because Chipper had a extramarital affair with a Hooters waitress that produced a son of wedlock. But he met his second wife in Florida, and having 3 sons. Larry Wayne III, aka Trey, because Larry Wayne is Chipper's given name, Tristan and Shay. However, Jones and his wife separated, and then Jones dated a former Playboy model, all that, and married in 2015. And they have a son, 2 sons, Cutler and Cooper. It's kind of weird how, he has 6 kids, including one in wedlock. It doesn't have a girl. That's unusual. All that. So anyway, yeah, Chipper likes deer hunting, but I don't. So anyway, 8-time NL All-Star, winning the batting title in 2008, MVP 1999, World Series champion, first overall pick. I mean, like, if you want to say who's the best #1 overall pick of all time in the Major League Draft, I mean, you got some good names. Let's see, who's a good name? Harold Baines, possibly. I mean, he's in the Hall of Fame. He was a #1 pick. Darryl Strawberry, man, when he was healthy and off drugs, he was superstar for the Mets. I kid you not. Ken Griffey Jr. Oh yeah, Ken freaking Griffey Jr. was a #1 overall pick. Like, honestly, he was a fantastic #1 pick. You could also say A-Rod because he was picked for sort of a '93 draft. Like, wow, that's pretty good. Josh Hamilton, when he was not on drugs, was a pretty good #1 overall pick, although it took him 2 years to get into the major leagues. Adrian Gonzalez was good. Joe Mauer, you could say, was one of the best first overall picks of all time. David Price, possibly. Steven Strasburg and Bryce Harper, Washington back to back. Garrett Cole was a #1 overall pick. Carlos Correa was a #1 overall pick. I did not know that. So yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. So yeah. Hail to that #1 draft pick. He was good. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I'll do.